Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Mecha Hack Pacific Rim. All right, so last night I played in my second session of I'm a player, and there's a game master running the game, good friend of mine. And so this game master ran Pacific Rim using the Mecha Hack rules, and it's just a really wonderful, super fun game, and I just wanted to tell you a little about it. So the reason why we're playing Mecha Hack Pacific Rim is because I ran Mecha Hack Battletech 2 weeks ago. So here's the flow, right? So you have Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is it's #1 tabletop role-playing game in the world. More people play Dungeons & Dragons combined than every other role-playing game combined. More people play Dungeons & Dragons. If you take all the editions of Dungeons & Dragons that are being played today and you pile them up, you will have more people playing Dungeons & Dragons than every other single tabletop role-playing game in existence. That is staggering, right? So here's what Mecha Hack is, right? You got the D&D rules. The Black Hack is a hack. It's a redux. It's like take the D&D rules, boil it down, just give me the bones, and then improve it a little bit, right? And that is Jason Black's Black Hack, right? Then the Jason Black's Black Hack set out there, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, these rules are amazing. I'm going to take this rule set and convert it so that people can play other types of games other than Dungeons & Dragons, right? Matt Click is with Absolute Tabletop. He's also with Fistful of Dice, and he's a great tabletop role-playing game streamer and a TRPG commentator. So Matt Click takes Black Hack and makes it into the Mecha Hack. So he's taking the Black Hack rules and making a set of rules so that you can run any mecha anime, mecha show, mecha comic book that you want, right? Really, really get a lot of fun out of it. And it's absolutely fantastic. Mecha Hack it's only $6. It is an absolutely amazing tabletop role-playing game. It is really, really exceptional. I highly recommend it for purchase. When I read Mecha Hack, I got very excited, and I said, okay, what am I going to run with this? I would have loved to run Mecha Hack Voltron, but I'm like super into Voltron, but very, very few other people are. So I ran Mecha Hack Battletech, right? And that was a big hit. I intended it for a one night arc, a one night one shot. It turned into a 2-night mini arc, and it was great. We really had a blast with it. One of my players is like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I'm gonna run Pacific Rim, okay? Now, the reason my friend did this is, one, he absolutely loved Mecha Hack the same way I did. He had a lot of fun in the Battletech game, and then also, he owns the entire collection, WizKids collection, of all kaiju and all Jaegers from Pacific Rim, right? And so we played this Mecha Hack Pacific Rim campaign. And we had our second section last night, and man, it is just so fun. It just really feels like that awesome, really high action mecha show energy, right? The game moves really fast. We have 2 or 3 giant kaiju mecha combats in each game. It just moves really quickly. It's super fun. The rules are like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Let's play a game together, rather than, hey, I'm the rules. Don't forget me as you proceed with your game. I'm going to totally get in the way of your narrative, but I'm still here, right? It's just like so the rules are really inviting and really help the narrative rather than hurt the narrative. Black Hack is amazing. Mecha Hack is amazing. And it really helped us explore the Pacific Rim world a little better. And we just had such a great time with it. So the first session was all of us. So I'm actually playing Shogun Bravo, which is a fan-made Jaeger. You could look it up on the online. It really looks amazing. And we're using, and actually Pacific Rim has a lot of Jaegers in it, right? But there are a lot of these really, really awesome fan-made Jaegers as well. We fully incorporated them, and they're just fantastic. We're having just such a good time with this game. So the first session was three. There were three players, myself and 2 other players, and 1 game master, and we all had 1 Jaeger, and then we all went to the throat, and the throat is where in Pacific. By the way, we're playing that Pacific Rim. The second movie didn't even happen. We're just saying, okay, Pacific Rim movie, and then our story takes place right after Pacific Rim 1, and we're completely ignoring Pacific Rim 2. Right? I didn't even see Pacific Rim Uprising. So basically, so you have this going on, right? And then, and so essentially, in the first film, the Jaegers actually go into the antiverse where the kaiju come from. And so we've actually, in the game, in the first session of the game, we went into the throat, right, into the antiverse, and then created an FOB, a forward operating base, in the throat of the antiverse. And then we have, and then we're retreating back to a stationary Jaeger headquarters that floats in the sea. It's pretty cool. It's a really neat story. And then the story really has been us going back into the antiverse whenever Jaegers show up there and really exploring what these Jaegers do. So one of the things that happened in last night's game, in the second game, we're still at the antiverse throat. We're at the forward operating base. We're fighting kaiju that are coming through. And basically what we saw last night was we were fighting all these, we were fighting annelids, and we were fighting all these different kaiju, but one of the kaiju is an otachi, and it could actually phase out, disappear, and then reappear and attack you, right? And it was just really, really cool. And one of the things that we really, every single one of us at the table was getting used to is how to use our Jaegers, right? Because the way the game is structured, we have all these different weapons. We have chassis abilities, that's abilities that come from your Jaeger. We have pilot abilities, that's abilities that come from your chosen pilot type. And man, it is just like, and there's so much to explore, and it's so tactically wonderful. In just 45 pages, the game's 45 pages long, and it is just a beauty to behold. It's so good, right? I just cannot speak highly enough of Mecha Hack. One thing I thought was really interesting, though, one of the things that I thought was really interesting was what happened at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story there. So the beginning of the story, we all show up like 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, first session. Game Master's there, all the players are there, and we have 5-10 minutes before the game starts. And I'm like, hey, Game Master, what are we going to do with drift? We need to get rid of drift. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, drift is the worst part of Pacific Rim. So you're telling me I got a Jaeger and I'm a pilot, and I'm going to pilot my Jaeger. Any other mech show in the world, we're good. I got a pilot, I got a Jaeger, we're done, right? But in Pacific Rim, we have 2 pilots who are like mind melded together and moving around in the center of the mech in unison. It's weird and stupid, and we should get rid of it, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, so I said we should definitely get rid of this, right? So, basically he's like, oh, excuse me. All right, so he's like, no, we're going to keep drift. I'm like, it's terrible, right? And he's like, no, we're going to keep it, right? So I'm like, okay, you're the game master, I'm the player, we're going to keep it. But I'm like, this is going to be dumb. And I just got ready to just like really lambaste my, and I even said to him, by the way, within the first or second session, I'm going to be asking to replace my my drift pilot, my drift pilot, with an AI, right? And he just kind of smiled. But then we get into it, right? And the way it works is, the way he has made it work with drift pilots is, one, the game master actually built a drift pilot for every single player, and he actually took the time to create these in-depth NPCs with actual personalities, full names, and with actually a pretty cool fighting style. So he was ready, right? And then in addition to that, the way he's working drift pilots is, in Mecha Hack, the way it works is you have 2 actions. You can move, you can move, attack, you can attack. Anytime you do the same action twice, you have to roll your reactor die in the game. And that's fantastic. It's one of the best mechanics in the game. It really works really well. And when you roll your reactor die, if you roll a 1 or a 2 on the reactor die, and your reactor die is a D8, D6, or a D4 usually. It can go up as high as a D10, but it's unlikely to be that high. So basically, you get this, basically, yeah, so you can, if you do the same thing twice, you have to roll your reactor die. Well, the way he dealt with drift is you can just say, I'm going to drift, right? You make a check on systems or presence, depending on, so basically, if you let your drift pilot decide what you're going to do, you use systems. If you let your presence, if you want to do a drift and you want to tell your drift pilot what you're going to do, then you roll presence. If you succeed this roll, if you succeed your drift roll, you get an extra action. If you roll with system, the GM is going to determine what that action is. If you roll with presence, you get to decide what it is. I was blown away. This was brilliant. It was a perfect use of the Mecha Hack system. It was content that the Mecha Hack, it was content that, it was really content that had not been put in the game by Matt Click, but it matched perfectly in style. It was just fantastic. I was blown away. It was so impressive. It was really, really fantastic, and I loved it. And, it's interesting too, because the reality is I'm such a bad player. Like, I never trust the game master is going to be able to pull it out and do a good job. And I'm always like, you should do this, you should do this, and I should just, be more patient and wait, but it was really good. So I just wanted to let, so that's the full sweep. I just really wanted to tell you about this awesome Mecha Hack Pacific Rim game that we ran. It was super fun. We really had a great time. I highly encourage you, if you don't own Mecha Hack, go out and get it. I'm also going to be going and starting to look for some other Mecha Hack conversions. I'm not sure if anybody's done as quality a job as Matt Click has done converting Black Hack into Mecha Hack, but I'm just so enamored with Black Hack right now. It's really, really great. And also, I just feel super fortunate that right now we have so many great Redux systems out there. I'm running my own index card RPG campaign right now. There's Tiny Dungeon 2E. There's Black Hack. There's just a lot of great D&D Redux systems out there. Take care.